Hey everyone, Amateur Developers tries to figure out the difference between the percent sign and the dollar sign here, back with another video, and one that's fortunately more towards the positive side, because I got some good news. I have actually managed to make really good progress on fixing and understanding the bugs in the game. Yes, I'm not entirely finished with it yet, there's still a bit more I have to figure out, but I'm pretty confident that this week I'll be able to finish it up, and finally get back to actually adding stuff to the game. Without further ado, the first bug that I was able to fix was a weird one. So, if you've seen this channel before, you probably already know the bug I'm talking about. The gun detection bug, where my gun would randomly lock on to segments of my walls. For some reason. Funnily enough, I ended up being exactly right on how to fix this in my last video. Apparently, all I needed to do was move the gun, enemy, and bullet scene to layer 2 while leaving everything else on layer 1. Now, of course, this being the gun detection bug, it wasn't as straightforward as that, but in the end, we got there. And with that simple change, we no longer have random wall lock on. Again, I still have no clue as to why or how it was locking onto the walls in the first place, but whatever. The bug lived as it died. Confused and unexplainable. Also, for some reason, this solution also came with another unexpected outcome, that being that enemies aren't 5-star football players anymore who just push you around. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just not sure how that fixed that, since I had thought that was caused by my movement system. But hey, you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Am I right, fellas? Wait, that's the wrong quote. The next bug we were able to fix was the health bar. And now I'm going to try and go slow for this one, because out of everything I've done so far, this was the most comprehensive, intricate, convoluted problem that I have ever worked on. I used the wrong symbol. And what's funny is, in the same segment of code just a few lines down, I used the right symbol. Yep, that intro wasn't a joke. I literally didn't know the difference between the percent sign and the dollar sign. From what I know now, it seems like the dollar sign is used to grab specific nodes by following a path, while the percentage sign just grabs it without needing the path. At least I think that's how it works. I couldn't really find any information comparing them other than a Reddit thread and Google telling me that nodes are accessed using the dollar sign, so take my description with a pound of salt. Just one small thing here, that wasn't the only thing I had to do to fix the health bar, because my timer was also throwing a fit, but I bet you can guess what the problem there is. Now, this actually puts us in an interesting spot, because if we could trust that the health bar is working properly, which I'm going to choose to, because just why not, we now have a visual way to test our health bar. But before I even got to test it the first time, I saw that my health variable was inside my function that checks for enemies, and it just clicked in my brain. The reason why I wasn't taking damage is because whenever the line was run, which was a lot, it set my health back to 100, which is why I wasn't taking damage. So, I fixed that, but does that mean my health will work properly now? Let's test it. Now first, it looks like I'm not taking damage and it's broken. But then, oh my god, what happened there? To be honest with you, I'm not quite sure. I did notice that the health bar seemed to be connected to the health variable because of how the character was Q-freed when the health bar reached 0. So I think the problem is where the damage is amplified, but again, I'm not sure. There are some other things that I noticed that could be important, that are probably important actually, but it was the end of the week, so I didn't really have much time to investigate. One last thing I want to mention that I didn't mention earlier was that for the last bug with the EXP dropping system, I actually found a good video that explains it, and I started following it, but I didn't end up getting to finish it. So rather than explaining half of it in this video and the other half in the next video, I figured it'd be better to just hold off and explain it all next video for the sake of clarity. That's all I've got for this week. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like I understand the code a bit more. Like with the health variable inside the function, for example, I feel like a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have been able to figure that out. Or at least figure it out that fast. And I know I've said this for probably the last 3 weeks, but for real this time, I think I'll be able to finish all these bugs by next week's video, and then hopefully, I'll have some new features to show you. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again next Monday.